Hi, this is Dave Zwine with What They Think. And with me is Alan Darling, who is the chief evangelist for K2. And Alan, it's great to see you. I mean, we go ways back, and
You're way too far back.
yeah, way too far back. And I think that at this point, what I want to do, let's start with K2 is made by or produced by Zytron.
Correct. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Zytron.
Well, they have a long history within this industry, and a lot of it they're now part of the Hybrid Group. They're owned by Hybrid Software, but it's been an interesting migration through there. They've had various workflow products out there. Probably initially best known for connectivity and with the connections through global graphics, connectivity into CTP systems, direct connectivity into CP systems, and driving them. And this latest rendition is K2, which, as we talked about a little bit before, and K2 is the latest iteration, which has got a whole bunch of stuff inside of there, a bunch of tools inside of there that allow for workflow automation and some other things that are worth talking about too.
It goes well beyond just connectivity because they do. Well, I've used it in the past and had clients use it where we just connect to their CTP device.
Correct.
And didn't what the brand was. They could connect to the CTP
One
device.
of the major strengths is brand agnostic, and we don't care what it is, and that's true for both CTP and now as everyone moves to hybrid environments, CTP and digital. So we can handle both sides of that, and it's not just the connectivity on the back end; it's the job submission, the trapping, the pre-flighting, the color management. What am I missing? Oh yeah, imposition. Forgot that for a second. and then actually outputting to various devices, and it's really powerful. As you know about me, I've worked on the vendor side and the user side, and I've run PSPs, I've run print shops and prepress shops, and quite frankly, I would have, if it had been available, I would probably have bought K2 three times as a user. Three different companies would have put it in there, and it's real strength to me. So my degree's in engineering, so I'm big on fault tolerance. One of the things that we know is we can put all these wonderful workflows together and automation, but inevitably clients can baffle us by the amazing crap that they create and they expect us to reproduce. What happens is you always end up with some late stage issue, and the beauty of K2 is that you can hit a problem late in the. So let's say, for example, you're ready to print something, and oops, I don't have that size of paper for this job that I want to run inside of here. What am I going to do? Well, typically you're going to go all the way back to Prepress to have them do the reimposition. Well, everything is so tightly integrated within K2 that you can do the edit of the imposition right there. You can change individual pages out right there within K2 without having to go back to Prepress and do it.
There's a lot of applications within K2, a lot of utilities, if you will, or functions. What highlight some of the major functions within K2?
Well, we touched on before. So we've got job submission, which is web-based. It's designed by us. It's web-based and puts it in there. Then what you'll come up against is pre-flighting, which we use the nFocus library in pre-flighting. Then we have trapping, which is vector-based trapping, which comes in from our pals at Hybrid. So we use their vector trapping inside of there, which is extremely powerful, very fast, or PDF-based, actually, which is something I didn't mention before, but this is a PDF-based workflow. Then we come on to imposition, which is Ultimate's impost strip that's going on. And then the output side of things is Zytron's DNA, basically, is to do with output to various devices. So that a PSP can invest in all sorts of different presses. There's a great story up on the website with, I'm just checking my notes here, with a company called PPS Zip, which is down in Texas. So that's a merger that went together. So they have a bunch of CTP, they have a bunch of digital that's inside of there, and they just switched out Navigator, which is one of our previous products inside of there, and they also had Xerox's Fiery driving it inside of there. So they had two different workflow systems inside of there, and they just replaced those two different workflow systems with a single workflow system. So now you've only got one place to find out what the hell's going on in your shop. Extremely powerful.
So they can actually replace the DFEs on a digital press as well as their CTP device, and it's agnostic, so it doesn't matter which digital press you could feed
Exactly
it.
right. Exactly right. And in fact, in the initial installations that we have, this has been around since what, June of last year. In the initial ones, I got my notes here to check inside of here. So we've replaced Rampage, we've replaced Prinergy, we've replaced XMF, we've replaced our own Sierra systems inside of there. So going in and replacing those systems with something that is going to last, and it's going to for a PSP, what it means is I can delay decisions about replacing hardware if I want to, because this thing will drive everything that's going around the place, and it'll also follow me. So the trend obviously is to go away from offset. It seems to be anyway, certainly for smaller printers. And these new guys that are getting in are all digital. So what it means is that you can actually migrate from CTP into digital, and you still keep the same workflow going through, same tools. No retraining to do inside of that. There's some little bit of work to reset things up. The other key inside of there, which is really, really important, taking away slightly from the technical side of things, is the business side of things. So the biggest struggle within PSPs right now is total cost of ownership. So right now, you can get a perpetual license, one-time purchase. Remember the good old days when you could buy Photoshop once and then use it?
They still do that with software?
Yeah, we do, and not only that, but wait, hey, I've got some sharp knives for you to come short. Yeah, but wait, seriously, we will finance for 12, 14, or 18 months, same as cash, and just giving you a feel for what that means is it's a fraction of an FTE, it's a fraction of an employee that you're charging inside of here, plus you get management of total cost of ownership. You understand what all your costs are rather than going SaaS or maybe having to pay more for the number of jobs you put through it, or maybe the volume of plates that you're turning out from the CTPs. You get charged additionally for that. This is really important, and one of the phrases that Brett and I have been working on internally to do this thing is we don't want to penalize our customers for innovation. So we want to have all this innovation that's going through, and we're keeping developing it. And there's a great team inside of that. I'm having a blast. If it's not apparent, I'm enjoying this.
So this is like one DFE to rule them all,
Yes,
basically. And
absolutely.
that's I mean, when you think about it, because things are always changing. I mean, especially now, people are changing. I got this digital press. It's 5 years later or 4 years later. Well, I need to change it out. I'm getting something else. That means a new DFE. That means I have to learn something new. And this is one, and it can be redirected anywhere. I believe they actually even have some workflow tools in there that do job directions based on
Oh
rule.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. It's important to remember that all this stuff is baked into this single K2 license that you're buying inside of there. And with that K2 license, you get a box. So you actually get a piece of hardware to run it on that's inside there. You have 5 licenses. You have 5 different instances you can run with on this thing, all for that one simple price to put together. And again, I, it, so as when I was running these PSPs, one of the things that I was trying to do was to make sure that at the end of a 3-year period, I could actually do a forklift upgrade from any piece of equipment that I've got inside of there. Hopefully, I could pay it off. It would pay for itself within 3 years then, if I want to. So the beauty of having K2 inside of that's the one constant that's going through the shop that allows me to take full advantage of flexibility of keeping hold of stuff. So even if it runs out, one of the things that we're running into right now is our competition are coming to end of life on things like Windows Server 3. Yeah, and there's still people running on that. So the beauty of this is you're coming in there. If that's end of life, we can replace it. We can come in there and replace that with impunity.
Alan, wonderful catching up with you, and thanks so much for bringing up some clarity to what K2 is.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go and tip a few somewhere. Thanks a lot, Dave. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.